Definitely gonna need this. All right, shalom, shalom, and those that are online and new, I'm saying you have to let me know if possible, you're tuned in if the audio is fine. Otherwise, I have to check it on my own. And of course, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Chakadosh, Kwahala, Yahweh, Alahayna, Yahweh, Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'Hashem, Chakadosh. Of course, giving double honors to the elder apostles, the elder bishops, Great Millstone. Well, peace and salutations, La Bachayariam, Shalom, Yashala, to the election of the nation of Israel. Shemel Machman is a Machman. My young God, Wallah, Kab Machana from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp, located here in the city of Philadelphia. I am the mighty Ma'ite. Come on, lesson little or a wee lesson. This is just a lesson in the spirit, and kind of like just a testimony, which I had from just being at the Shaddai, the work, and it's pretty like obviously everything is spiritual, but like how it even came out because I wasn't normally I don't really intend to kind of share some of my different beliefs sometimes regarding certain subjects, but you had in this case with this particular elderly Ayasha, which is an elderly woman. Ayasha, meaning a woman in Hebrew. But yeah, this aged woman, she came up pretty much, and she came and she she pretty much was I believe trying to get people to vote for a particular individual who was I guess he's running for a position within the government here in Philadelphia. Uh, I didn't even get to even look at the actual um the actual like he had like a wee flyer and such. But it was for I believe city council. All right, in the municipality and such. And it was actually an Israelite, a Jake, so-called black man. Could be from tribe of Judah, right, or Benjamin, tribe of Judah, and that's your so-called Negroes. All right, yeah, Bunyamin, the tribe of Benjamin, or Bunyamin, Benjamin meaning son of the right. That represents your West Indians, and then you have Levi, which represent your they are the so-called Haitians and such. All right, Loya being joined to me, right? So, um, you had it where she came up to us, which me and the men which were around me. We're pretty much looking pretty youthful to a degree. Like I know look my age and such, but um, she just was like kind of like let me like she came with it was like a damn near like a pitch and such, like as if she was damn near selling something, which she is selling something. She's trying to sell pretty much the actual influence for us to vote for um, this particular man, which she said that she knows, I believe, personally. That's what she's saying or claiming. All right. I'm not sure how deep that goes, but that's what she claimed and such. So, she first asked us, or she was making a statement talking about, all right, are you registered to vote? And do you vote and such? And I'm not sure. Like pretty much, some held their tongue that were around me because I had about like two co-workers. One was an Ephraimite, the other was he probably like a Judite or something like that. Uh, and then I just was like, I kind of like in a sense I had scoffed and such. But I was pretty very very austere. Let me check the audio real quick. All right, audio is fine. And yeah, shalom to Mr. Ak Ramya uh, Shamar. In the UK, Yabashim Ashai, Bashim Kukadash Brakatha, Brakatha, Brakathum, all y'all that's on the comment board and such. But so yeah, going back into this whole story and such, this whole discourse. So she's like all, and this is an elderly woman and such. But she's an Israelite woman too. She could be even a Gadite. I didn't know, but she had a pretty good spirit on her. I can say that too, because she's very lively. Those are the times, especially in Babylon the Great, when you got so-called black women walking about. Especially where I was at, I was somewhere in the hood, somewhere in North Philly or something, which is pretty ghetto, and damn near lost place where there's no much attention given to reform or change, within that area with the community when it pertains to improving it, other than obviously if it goes into gentrification, which more would build up the neighborhood to really move out, out the neighborhoods and move in really, obviously, people that have money, these Edomites and such, so called. Obviously, we know who they are. Wheat, but isn't he? They say, and other, of course, heathens, they take advantage of the gentrification of these neighborhoods because, hey, they can move in these neighborhoods. Jake, they'll try to remove Jake out of there, bring them in, and then with that, um, they can live within the cities, and they can like so-called have some type of culture, because prior, most people are scared to go around Jake, right? Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and the Americans, most of the heathen nations, they fear being obviously around us and such. And that's all scriptural and such. We know that the Lord create us stronger. Esau, Edom, and such. That first, of course, starts even spiritually. Obviously, we got physically and such. But we do have the nations, they do be fearing us and such, just when they walk about, because just having the Lord done create us to be his people, and gift us with so much natural given talents and such. That these heathen, like I said, they envy us and such too. But going back into it. So the woman, pretty much asks us, if we vote, if we register to vote, and I'm just like, man, here we go, and I go and I'm like, well, I'm registered to vote, but to answer your other question, if you really want, she's like, I was I don't vote, and then she was kind of like, why, and I was like, you sure, and she just pretty much was like, okay, but going on, I told her pretty much, I was just like, hey, because pretty much if I were to it's real, I said, it's like, it's really like religious, I say pretty much, and then I mentioned, I was like, I believe I explained it, and I said, if I pretty much, if we were um, to elect or pretty much have a leader, it would be one of our people and such. And I think I went into. I think I had maybe wanted to quote. I think it's in the book of Deuteronomy and such like that. Which he's an Israelite, but also even on the flip side, we're being within the political system. Okay, that is set up the new. Which we're in the fourth beast. We're in the iron with the miry clay. With NATO, the EU, of course, America, and you have it. It's partly strong and partly broken and such, right? And you have it where you have these two major political parties, which, like I say, when I started to go into this whole discourse with this woman, she pretty much damn near backed up and such, because it was which I'm not saying like like the black woman is deep or anything, but from the spirit I was pushing off from just what I was speaking on. Like she would just her brothers even would know when they go out in the highways and hedges. A lot of the people, they don't want to hear like the actual answer from the scriptures. They'd rather hear just our plain words and such. But even with us, which we allude to us, we explain everything by the heart of Yahweh Shemel Shai, due to wisdom, knowledge, understanding, which Yahweh Shemel Shai has bestowed onto us. Those of the people can't even take that, and it was actually beautiful to see, because as I'm going to it, the woman actually, she at the end of it, she like the whole departure was actually pretty graceful and such. All right, so let me see if I can get what scripture I was trying to get, a book uh, of Deuteronomy. Let me see if I can get it real quick. If brothers know the precepts that I'm quoting, you can put them up fast forward, but Yah Ratazah, this would be a very quick lesson and such. I don't want to make it too, uh, super duper deep or anything like that. I just want to make it pretty, straight and to the point. All right, let me see if I can find or remember that precept. Okay. Uh, let's see how that might go. All right, so give me a moment. Let's see if I can get that particular precept. So pretty much us as Hebrew Israelites and such, um, we don't like go into voting and all that things and such. You know, any of that sort and such. And as I've mentioned to her, I was trying to mention to her, or I did. I was like, yeah, last time I pretty much was involved with them things was pretty much, it was prior to the truth. I didn't tell that to her, but you know, I came in pretty much into this knowledge and such and crossed over. That was 2017 of May, and pretty much I think like I had mentioned, I was like last time I like was involved with that, like the regular election system and stuff like that was back when Bernie Sanders was running and such and such. But we were basically told back then that we ought to vote for Bernie Sanders. If Trump get in, we're doomed, right? But even that, Trump even got into office, and still the doom that Yahweh Bashem Shai is bringing is still going on, right? They can't stop, of course, the will of Yahweh Bashem Shai. None of these different officials can stop the will of Yahweh Bashem Shai. So what I'm gonna try to do, like I said, because I don't know, I don't remember particularly where this precept is about and build your own people, but then I'm basically give some understand because then people think, well, he's an Israelite. No, not going into it because even with that, uh, hold up, even with that, they're still subject to the elite, as I told her. And she was like, "Oh, the lobbyists and all of that," and I'm just like, "Oh yeah," in a sense and such. But yeah, like she it's actually beautiful because it's like a lot of times when we go into things, many people they try to buck up, and they be like more like adamant where they don't want to receive some of the things they say, which she did like she was afraid. She's like, I don't want to waste my time. I'm not gonna wait. You ain't gonna waste my time or something like that. She already could tell that, but um she still basically Lord made her here. So let me see if I can get that of thy brethren. Let me see. Let me see if I can get this precept bad. I can't believe I don't know this. King and Slakia, man. I ain't meaning to do this. I just went in the spirit. It was just King people. It was just so hot on me, and I was like, I gotta use this as a means for a lesson. Let me see. Damn, I can't believe I can't remember this precept, man. What was it? Bring this precept out. Yeah, I'm sure I shot God. Yeah. So yeah. Anyway. Yeah. So I had to saying that to her. It's like I don't know what the scripture is. Um, I'm trying to see if I can find it in the spirit, but I don't remember it. But I'll get it probably at another time. You know. But yeah. So I explained to her that, and then I kind of went into like, hey, like, cause she mentioned about the two parties, this whole bipartisan thing, whole setup and such, which you have with that the whole bipartisan thing. You have it where it's two parties that are usually opposed to one another, pretty much, kind of come try to so-called cooperate, to do things within the whole political structure and stuff. But as like brothers, us in the truth and stuff like to say, like I know even Elder Malcolm like to say, it's pretty much two sides to the same bird and stuff, and like they just use it's like basically two methods to the same end. You know what I mean? So you know, I think from there, then I was like, yeah, I was like went into, yeah, this is like just like yeah, the plebeians and the patricians. I was like, yeah, he's just a plebeian and such, right? And let me just like, cause since I can't find that precept, I'm just gonna go directly to like how I wanted to go in general. I'm gonna go to the book of Daniel, the seventh chapter, real quick. I ain't go as deep as just saying to the woman that this is just nothing but Rome all over again. But I will get that very quick in the spirit. Just bear with me. I had this old. Let me see if I can get my older sword instead of this newer sword, because this newer Bible, it's like how brothers know how you have a newer Bible. You barely, you're not used to even using it, wielding it and stuff. But you get your old Bible, it's easy because you're accustomed to using it and stuff. But yeah. So this is gonna be here in the book of that was Daniel, and I believe the seventh chapter. And I'm just going straight to the point. Okay. Now, obviously, these beasts, of course, representing kingdoms. You had, of course, what four major kingdoms. All right, ruling here, on earth. You got, of course, the Babylonian kingdom. You know, you have the Neo-Babylonian kingdom. You have the what is it? We have the Persian, the Medes, the Greeks, and then the Roman Empire. And you have the iron with the miry clay, same Roman Empire just coming back. All right, and that's what we're in, right? The fit, the end of it. Okay, so this is uh, uh, James chapter 7:7. And it says, and after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth, and it devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns, right? It was diverse from all the beasts or the kingdoms and such, right? Before it. And you had it, of course, with the Roman Empire, which this place is nothing but fashioned after the ancient Roman Empire. All right. You had, of course, prior, kingdoms having kings and such. The Roman Empire had what Caesars and such. You have it during these times, right? Which, like I said, everything is reincarnated. You have these Caesars, which are emperors and such. Your commander, I think if you go into like the word, I'm gonna try to go to it real quick just to double check. You go into commander in chief, uh, like that's the emperor and such. Okay, with your president, that's one of his actual like one of the titles that's given to him is the commander in chief. Okay, so let me see, Lord willing, this etymon come up. See him as everything on my this tablet is booting up and installizing and such. But But yeah, so I'm gonna look that up real quick. So let me see, emperor. I'm gonna see if it's emperor or, or, or commander in chief. I got command, and then I just gotta find emperor. I just gotta spell it correctly. 'Cause, hey, today your boy ain't spelling right. All right, so emperor, emperors, right? All right, got it now. So emperor, emperor. All right, pardon me. Like I said, I know it has a straight start, a slow start, and all this, but hey, emperor. So an emperor is a commander, and so thus your actual president is called a commander in chief. He's a emperor. All right, and that's another way to even link America being to Rome too. Because we have, like I say, still these same characters coming back. All right, it says originally a title conferred by vote of the Roman army on a successful general. All right, later by the Senate on Julius and August Caesar and adopted by successors except for Tiberius and Claudius. Okay, so just going a little bit in the history, and like I say, these things such as hearing about Senate and such. All right, these things were like scriptures tell you ain't nothing new under the sun and such. The whole current political structure is after that whole the image of the ancient Roman Empire and such. All right, but this fourth beast was diverse from the rest. All right, and obviously, the residue different, ones that surrounded, hey, it was conquering and such, and had, these other European vassals and obviously in subjection and such. 10 horns go into the ancient, it got the vassal states and such, which even of today you have the EU coming back. But, you know, um, let me see. Uh, and, I could go into verse 8, but, just to leave things simple, let's just go into the whole history about like going into America, which I'll just get. Hey, I'm gonna read it. Daniel 7 and 8. It says, "I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. However, this little horn represents Babylon the Great, America. All right, before whom there were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots, and behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things." All right, and you go into the whole history with the French, the Spanish, the British, the different various wars, Revolutionary War. Was it? You go into the whole. Let me see. Let me go back to that Spanish American War in the. Slocky. Let me make sure I get that right. Slocky. The three of the first horns is That'd be the French, the Spanish, and the British. If I messed that up, Slovakia. Um, but yeah, and then obviously they had to be plucked up in order to obviously establish America. All right, what we have today. All right, and such. Okay. Um, but yeah, so as I was mentioning, and like I said, I could go into the whole system, but trying to leave everything pretty basic. I'm gonna go real quick, just in the spirit, to just the revelation. I'm in my old Bible, the lovely Bible that I love so much because I work with it so much, but the pages are, pretty much damn near in shambles and such. But this goes here. Okay, this is Revelation chapter 13. Okay, um, and I'll go just straight to verse 3. It says, "And I saw one of the heat of his heads as it were a wounded to death." And this goes into obviously the Roman Empire. Okay, it says, "And his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast." All right, and you had the Roman Empire did fall, and then of course came back. All right, and it came back. In the times obviously of the you have the you have the Treaty of Rome. You go into even with um, when you go to the um, the Renaissance period and such, with these E's coming back. All right, and I want to go to just straight to my point, which is I think that's verse 14. All right, and I could go into the Revelation 17 and all of that, but I'm just trying to go fast track, going straight to the point. Revelation chapter uh, 13 and verse 12. Or Saki, I started at 11. Saki, and I beheld another beast coming out of the earth. All right, but this is talking about that beast in America, same as which it corresponds with Daniel's. All right, it says it had, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. All right, and you have it where this beast, you have the two major dominant political parties. Okay, and you have it with the Democrats and the Republicans. All right, which in ancient times you have the plebeians and the patricians, and with now this with this guy, like say like this guy, he'd be nothing but a plebeian because the plebeians will represent today your basic Democratic Party, which so-called have a lot of times regular commoners. They're more for the just the average people, all right, and no, of course, the people of nobility and such, all right, of our hierarchy or the best rule and such. Which I'm just gonna go real quick, just in the etymon, if I can get it, if I can spell plebeian, right, right, if I can spell it. 'Cause, I mean, I'm like off today with the spelling, but and then I'll just get that basic definitions, the basic differences between the plebeians and patricians. Your which I was trying to tell to this lady, which she kind of like she backed off quick. When I was going, I was like, yeah, the Buck, that's just like that's just your patricians, which they would be your higher class, the wealthy and such, right? Like you see the Republicans and such, like you see more so it favors so-called wealthy and such, keeping wealth. They always say like you have the Democrats, yeah, let's just tax the rich and such. Basically the opposite, total opposite of what the plebeians would do and such, right? You know, but here we go. I'm gonna try to get this real quick. So you say here the patricians, just to get that, which you represent today, your so-called Republicans, right? The patricians were wealthy upper class people. Okay, everyone else was considered a plebeian. Okay, right. So if you're not wealthy and such like that, okay, you will be considered a plebeian. And the patrician were the ruling class of the early Roman Empire. All right, the plebeians, which you represent like your Democrats, were commoners. All right, and that's a term I learned that call somebody over in Scotland, like a commoner and such. But the plebeians were commoners in Rome and had the highest population in society. They include merchants, farmers, and craft workers. Right, regular old Joe, regular old so-called blue collar workers and such. Right, like the guy's talking about how he's I don't know what I could just think about it. He's a guy that's gonna say, oh yeah, I'm a so-called black man. I know I lived in these communities, these hoods. I know what we need and such. Vote for me so that I can do this for our community. Yeah, meet you. Oh yeah, my neighborhood, my block, it need to get a new street. Oh yeah, well, if I get into the into actual office, I'll push towards and make sure that the council come together and we'll get the streets paved in North Philly or something like that, or something of that sort. Okay, so right, this is a republic. Yeah. So let me see. Going to you say the patricians monopolized all the power in Rome, and the plebeians. Well, this goes into some more history. Well, let me see. I want to get where I was at. Yeah, of course. Patricians. You go into history like the patricians were wealthy land-owning noble class in Rome. They often owned slaves who would work their farms for them. The patricians inherited their power, and right. So it's like through like you would say like just in general, just inheritance and such, like passed down and such like that. It ain't have to be like, all right, well, you know, okay, like how you have like some of these people, they could just come up, like how this dude, he's like, oh, I'm of the people and I'm coming up, and then you could just vote for me. Well, no, the patricians, you said they pretty much inherit power, right? And held almost all the important government positions, such as the councils, right? You know, and we know most of the wealthy people that are wealthy hold loads of positions, especially within the Republican Party and such. You know, in early Rome, uh, like you have like I know, especially even with like a plebeian, say like a plebeian, you have like I know, and this is just a woman, which like I said, that's a whole nother story. But this particular woman was she was a so-called councilwoman, which, like I said, when scriptures tell you how women shouldn't usurp authority over men, but we have that in this whole setup. Well, this one chick, she councilwoman, she actually lived in the neighborhood. Like she lived on a regular residential block here in Northeast Philly. She don't live in no. She never lived in no suburb or nothing. And even I think when the other hood she ended up getting moving out, it was still in the city. You know, it wasn't anything that grand or impressive and stuff like that. Like, you know, but going on, the plebeians were the commoners in Rome and had the highest population in society. They included merchant farmers and craft workers. Many lived in apartments above or behind their shops and rented the stories above it and such. So it's like they shite where they eat, right? And then it goes into this particular event after the conflict of the orders, the plebeians were allowed to participate in politics. All right, so the part a time where they didn't. You know, just you just have the patricians, um, right? You know, I don't want to speak. You know, I keep that basic. You know, but they weren't no allowed, right? And then here it says in politics and gain political office and power in society. All right, the plebeians elected tribunes to give them a voice in government. Okay, now we'll look into that. Which, hey, that's what the chick she's trying to do. Oh, I want my voice to be heard. Let's elect Jim 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 Brown. You know, Jim Brown is some dude that he grew up. You know, now he's into politics, and now he trying to get his seat and such. Like I've seen, like here in Philly, you got regular dude that was he working for a sanitation department in the city of Philadelphia. Now he want to run for a seat. You got this dude here. Well, he gave up. And you have this dude. I think his name is like something like Terrell Hagler or something like that. The guy was the guy wasn't even a sanitation worker for that long and such. And then he basically tried to bring basically he wanted to go with his whole campaign, which is all set up, um, with trying to get into office with city council. Like I think yeah, but he's not trying to do that, but now, but he was just a regular guy that he worked. I think he only worked a little bit in the pandemic and such. Like down in 2020, 2020 and such. No long, and then he just, then he, they using him and such. You know, but yeah. So again, I repeat, the plebeians elected tribunes to give them a voice in government. Okay, and I'm gonna look that up real quick for tribunes. Okay, if I can. So tribunes. Now I'll check on the comment board because, like I said, uh, I haven't been able to. So tribune is official. Basically, it got well. You have a popular leader, right, or a champion of the people, and you have it, of course, where common people would get somebody like even like a person like me, like I may say that too, because I deal with loads of different things in that realm of arena with dealing with serving the community and such, right? I call myself the people champ because um, I'm a man, one, virtuous, two, and then like say for example, I get the job done, right? And that could be just a whole slogan itself. You know, I get the job done. I'm the man. You know, hey, the others won't dead. I will. You know, no, no, no bills shape. Just I just get it done and such, right? So that's what a tribune is. A tribune is a popular leader or a champion of the people, and you have leaders within communities and such, right? I know that guy right there. He does so much. He might have started up, like he had a business and such in the community, He helped out the people, right? He got a corner store and stuff. He a merchant, right? He's selling stuff. You know, he gained favor from helping people in the community. He's selling milk in there. They don't have no money. He let them pass on certain things, and you have that. It gained favor from loads of people. He did that for years, decades, and such. Then this guy come, of course, with launching a whole campaign and such. He got many people influence behind him and such because people know him, and that's how like say like this particular individual and such. That's how he's going and being and such, where you got these upstarts and such, Jake. They going and trying to actually hit the offices and such and get in. And some of these Jake actually get in and such, But as I was trying to explain to the woman, when she knew, in a sense, because she's like, oh man, like I don't know, she was like politely she didn't want to deal with it, because she know it's true. And she was like, well, because she's like, she seen what I was talking about. I was like, yeah, like prior, kingdoms dealing with kings and such. Know this whole elected thing and all of that and such. But you know, we had this whole political system there, and then what I was gonna say, she was what was it? What was she was going on? Slacky, I damn near lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me, y'all Ratazah. But yeah, Slacky, we'll get back to it. But let me see, what did Roman tribunes do? The tribune, right? The held power to assemble the plebs, propose bills to be voted on and pass resolution or laws, right? And pretty much what you would have, you would if he got this particular individual got within office and such, right? He would then go and he would like with council, they would say, okay, I'm drafting this bill that all right, within the such and such these confines and such, we don't want no we want um more policing or something, or different agendas and such, or certain laws and stuff. Like you can't, we can't. If any drug dealer get caught within these confines, they get excess of 20 years or something like that, and they would propose and go on, with it, vote it on and then pass resolution or law as such. Would that basically represent like a we Senate and such, right? Which goes back to ancient Rome. Okay, that goes back to ancient Rome. All right, which I think you go into the Maccabees and such, right? If I'm not mistaken, is that the eighth or let me see. It's been a while since I went to these different precepts, but let me see if I can get if I could did, and I could check on the comment board, but let me see if I can get it. Second back of these 8. I'm thinking like 8 and 33 or something like that, but that's just in my heat. It's been quite a bit since I went into these pre's. All right, let me see. I'm gonna type it up real quick. And Slovakia, hey, gotta not quench the spirit. One moment. Yeah, first Maccabees 8 and 22. I said 8 and 33, but I was in the second. Then yeah, so all right, so it's close. But that just goes to show you, brothers gotta continue to read and go over this repetitive repetition. The Father said, as it said, and the apostles always echo that sentiment. All right. 8 and 22. So it says, wait, say 8 and 22, right? First Maccabees 8 and 22. No, that's not it. Hold up, let me get it. Uh, 8 and 15. Yeah, so this is uh, First Maccabees 8 and 15. It says, moreover, who they had made for themselves a senate house wherein 320 men, which senate go back to being old men, so technically to be a senator, you would have to be a man, right? Old men. And another thing, like why you see them mostly are older. Now these days you see like a lot of the time you got these younger dudes running for senate. You got here in the one guy here in Philadelphia, he was a former MMA fighter. Hey, you'd be considered a so-called plebeian and such. He actually tried to run for Senate, and he got clobbered in that in the primary and such. But that's it. Fighter Samuel Pezza, all right, Samuel they call him. You know, I think now he might be trying to run for city council. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I think it's for they think it's for what they call it mayor. But going on, it says they sat in the council daily, consulting a way for the people to the end that they might be well ordered. All right. So that whole political system goes back to ancient Rome. Okay. You know, which like I say, this whole thing is in that's the whole image of the beast. When you go into like say for example, when you tell you in Revelation chapter 13, and that's 15, and it says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many that would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And part of the image of the beast, and of course in his philosophies, is democracy. All right. So, you have it where this little, this going back to this beast that had two horns like a lamb and speak as a dragon. The two political parties, they do try to seem as if they're humble and coming to help you and such, all lowly and such. But hey, we come with that Draco, that the harsh and severe dragon. When they say speak as a dragon, meaning they go into the harsh and severe laws and such. All right, and that's what we're moving into, because the future is coming with nothing but harsh and severe laws and penalty. Why? Because the elite want that and such. Okay, control with the whole pestilence outbreak. Remember, you had it where they left it to so-called governors, the so-called within their whole constituent or whatever, their area, their state, to pretty much govern. Having they enforce the whole rules of the pestilence outbreak. You got some, that on the Republican side they were like anti-mask and such, and you had some that were mainly they were for the Shabbat and all of that and everything, and that's that whole confusion, with their whole bipartisan, this whole bipartisan system and such, where like I said, that's another reason why this is Babylon. The scriptures say how a nation. Let me see, I'll get that too. That's divided amongst itself. If Satan be against Satan, how can he stand? Basically, it comes to desolation. That's The book of Mark. I'll try to get that real quick. Mark or Matthew or Matthew. Let me see if I can just get Mark. The Gospels. I'm already at Matthew, so I'm going to get to Matthew chapter 12 and 26, which it reads, it says, uh, it says, um, these words of Yahushai, and Yahushai knew their thoughts. Yahushai, who's the world ignorant called Jesus Christ. For some of you know not to call him Jesus Christ, but you still call him Jesus Christ, which is the true name of the Lord is Yahushai. If it was, you said you know, remember the letter J didn't come about till what, was it like what 15, 1600s? You go into it. You go into if you go into what it called, be like Jesus, all right, you know. But the true name is, and that's just a title, is Yahushai, okay. The Hebrew man that had a Hebrew name, all right, came out of the tribe of Judah, but it says in Yahushai, which Yahushai means he the deliverer, right? He knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house, and this is, we have a city. Philly is divided. All right, you got people in Philly, they don't even want, they would never even vote for a so-called black man to be, within office or something like that. I wouldn't even respect that, at all. They were like, well, what? Iggers in office? What the hell is this shit? And never show support. Well, anyway, it says in every city or house that divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan casts out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then shall his kingdom stand? And hey, there's no way this kingdom is going to stand with the division. All right, the political division that it has. Okay, the scriptures tell you in Isaiah chapter 19. Isaiah chapter 19 tells you how in verse 2, and I will set the Egyptians, which here, this is something in Egypt. You have it. These Babylonians, these Americans will be against one another. All right, I will set Egyptians against Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom. And you have all of this division. You got far right, far left. Conservative and liberals and all of that. You got all of that sorts and such. You have major division. So yeah, man, this place can't stand. So even within that, for Jake to want to even be in that, knowing all these truths, like I said, I wouldn't want to have no parts. The scriptures also tell you never to trust thine enemy. You gonna trust that when you get in office that the enemy actually gonna do some change for the community? No, they want to do that. They want order out of chaos and such. They want to come with a new system. They want, of course, Jake. Like I said, they're gonna go through some rough time of Jacob trouble. They want the Sharat within you, the implantable. Okay, they're gonna come with a mandatory, implantable, a new financial system. Control of all your movements, knowledge of all your movements. No more of that whole private buying and selling. We of course have supervision over all your buying and selling. Okay, so Yeah, and that's gonna come with your draconian law and such. All right, Satan come down with great wrath, which is Esau, Edom, one he have but a short time and such. Okay, and that's what's coming. And Jake, us, our people getting within office is not going to stop that. You have some of our people that actually are in league with the devil, Esau, Edom. All right, in this empire, New Rome all over again. So let me see if I could go to the YouTube. I know it's displaying zero because I know this is a boring historic lesson, but I actually like hearing about history and stuff like that. You know, it's something I should probably be more better at. But that's why I go into it and try to attack it to the best I can. You know. So, oh, and the brother did find that precept. The water, the brother did find that precept. It's Deuteronomy 17 and 15. GMS Rob Bond, well, Bond, right? Reuben. And yeah, the water, for the brother getting this precept, man. In Deuteronomy chapter 17 and 15, I was thinking 18 and 15. I always think about that Yahweh Shai precept. But 17 and 15, which it reads, so thankful the Lord gave me the precept to man. Iron sharpens iron, man. So it says, thou shalt in any wise, so it's like, let me see, thou shalt in any wise set him over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose. One from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Thou mayest not set a stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. Right? And you have it where, like I said, Jake, with this whole political system, hey, they be electing other Jake. They're so-called participate in it, making covenants with the heathen, and bringing obviously other heathen nations to rule over them. Okay, which is absolutely against the scriptures and such like that. Why would you have a heathen that's not for you and be ruling over you? That's silly. They don't have the law such experience that's not going to do right. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get an election and I'm gonna do what's right, man. I'm only for my people. But help these Elamites out over here. You know what I mean? Like I'm Elam. Like UK government, you got mostly Elam over there. They killing it over there in UK government. They got Elamite over there and such. You think Elam gonna do something to help you out? I know, of course, we got, which Elam would be a so-called East Indian. Now, you got some of our people, a lot of people been scattered, but you try, of course, to spirit by the spirit, you know. But, yeah, loads of these, these people that are set up, they full of Satan, and they got to, answer to higher authorities, which hey, those are Edom of Edom. Simple as that. Esau, Edom, the wicked. All right. So, see if I can get that other scripture. My brother can get that too. We talk about should make no covenants with the heathen on the land. I think that should be probably around this thing. When y'all come in the land. I mean, I even get some of these little precepts like. When thou come in the land which the Lord shall thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abomination of those nations, right? And a lot of times you end up learning you learn the ways of the heathen. We shouldn't learn the way of the heathen. We shouldn't try to be like the heathen and stuff. They got these whole different structures and such like that. We got the law, statutes, commandments. Telling you, hey, we set up a king. Hey, let him be of thy brethren. All right, you said set a stranger over thee. You have a dude. He so called Jake being over there. He's so called in office, but then what he do? He got to go and answer somebody above him That's, you know what I mean? Like you got a whole illusion and such. But anyway, let me go back. I'm gonna get this. And then, like I said, even Jake to this day, they don't understand like how, we don't like. You got some Jake, they don't understand like, hey, the whole going to the government for like even getting with some chick and trying to do a so-called marriage. That's like a great way to go off, to get yourself really destroyed because you're making a covenant with the heathen. You actually adding another person within your actual so-called union, right? Your marriage. And hey, that chick, she can just get mad at you one day, and then she can go to her government or all right, and divorce you and take all your shit that you worked up for, right? But anyway, I'm gonna go back to some of this history. This is really a beautiful. This history, the history is beautiful. Um, so again, it said that patricians and plebeians rarely married between classes. Right. That's another big thing. They keep it within the family. All right. Patricians, if you of a wealthy, noble so-called birth, which we know that these so-called leads of nobility and such, what they gonna go deal with a commoner, and most of them go back to being small hats anyway. So they not definitely don't want to be with a as they would say a boy, as they would say, right? It costs a heathen. All right. But anyway, going on, it says and that you they get all that and they whole you go into that book, the Talmud and all that. But anyway, that's something else for another time. It says both classes were considered citizens of Rome, right? In both patrician and plebeian society, male were heads of the family, right? These could be father, grandfather, or uncle. He was called pater familias, all right? They honored the elderly. Women had no rights in society. And you had it where, hey, with this whole system now, they went and try to change that and such, but that's in honor of confusion and obviously, you know, um, hey, the certain prophecies had to be fulfilled, women surpassing the man, and etc. You know, um, this is a new thing, right? Um, says women had no rights in society, meaning they could not vote and did not hold political office or political party. But you have it here, they can do that now, but this is the worst of the worst, okay? Both classes own slaves and they worship the same gods, all right? So, hey, hey, it's beautiful though. So, hey, just going into some brief stuff, but in general, the woman, she was even blown away, by like I said, I was just going a little bit brief on things, and she already could tell. She actually wanted to eat some of this knowledge too, but we just like the spirit had it where, she was on her mission. I told her my name. She told me her name. It said I should call that particular office and etc. And how it was so funny because she thought I was pretty much like a podcaster or like a journalist or something like that. Because I pretty much like, yeah, like I got a YouTube channel, and if this particular individual got pretty much dirt, I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna do a piece on it. You heard me, and she actually said, "I know you're gonna do it because you're a man of your word." Which I was like, wow, like, and also she was like, continue to do great things and stuff like that. Continue to be great. And she actually had no doubt that basically with me, that I would, basically keep going. Which Yahweh I continue to do so. In the truth, ultimately, to be delivered and do great things in the kingdom and stuff like that, but do great miracles and such. But it's just also beautiful how this knowledge, people marvel at too. Our people gonna be willing if they are power. So hey, brothers, don't be keeping having your heat down and such. She was damn near. I think the lady damn near liked me and such. She was like, that name, you know. Check out a Roman name, but yeah, but yeah, but yeah, So yeah, it's in the spirit. So a lot of good things be going on. Let me see if I can find that other scripture where it talk about how basically we speak about wisdom that's not of this world or something like that. Let me see if a brother got in the comment board, but if no, so be it. I could close it up. But I was just thankful for this. It made my day going into this little discourse. And like I said, I didn't even mean to hide, like, or to really expose like some of my different beliefs to around my work coworkers. But it just came out. You know, and I couldn't quench the spirit at that time. So that's it. I want to say like Romans or Corinthians or something like that. But let me see. I'm thinking Romans 6, but let me see. See what's there. If it's there, but maybe it's in Corinthians. Mm. It's like I was trying to see if I could find this. It's pre, but no worries. Um, I'll go into another time. Close this lesson out. Even all praise honor glory to Yahweh Hashem Rashai, Hashem Kokodash. First double line said other apostles, a great millstone, peace citation of the elect. If you watched it, tuned in, shalom, of course, to you, stay up, because this system is crawling and falling. It's on its last leak. All right, so, shalom. Yeah, another reason. Another thing, why would you care about, like, electing an official at this time when Babylon is going down anyway? The worst times. Dudes that's going to be in office, they're going to be praying that they're not even officials because the people are going to turn on themselves anyway, biblically, when you go into prophecy and stuff like that, But, that's it. And they're going to not regard their kings or their princes and such, which represent your modern day, whatever, councilmen, government leaders. So that's it. Shalom. How much for a share for the thumb? Much y'all out there, use out there. If you don't know Brother Thumb, it means use in a full sense. All right, so shalom till the next time.